Hi, and welcome to the Blender Render Roast, the show where you submit your artwork, we review it, and give you feedback to improve. I'm today's host, Daerik. The first submission we got is from HP 2009. It's a night scene of a billboard. That was called when it's just the letters. You have a nice atmosphere to it, and I really like how the letters turned out with the simple emissive material. Let me point out a few things I noticed. First, there is a guy over here. Took me a little while to notice, though. And he is using something on his hand. At first, I thought it was like a telescope, a pirate telescope, I don't know. And looking up close, it looks more like a trumpet, but I'm still not sure. If it has anything to do with jazz, I would recommend you use a saxophone. I think it's more jazzy. Now, to make the character be a little more clear, you should probably put some kind of light behind him. Maybe over here you have some kind of generator or some Christmas light, since it is snowy and whatnot. Just so we can see his silhouette. You have a background image of some buildings, nice. This is a repeating pattern, but it looks good. I really like the snow. You have a lot of depth and it works. You used a bokeh effect of hexadecimals. That's good. No need to go for circles or anything else really. There is one air conditioning unit, which is okay. The reflection of the light here is not so good though. Maybe because the material is a perfect metal, or you use a lower resolution. But yeah, this part doesn't look too good. At least from afar it is okay, but could be improved. I really like the material on the sides of the letters. You added some bump and a bit of rust. Always good to see. What else could you do? Maybe add some random lights to windows over here. I'm not sure how you made it, how you have made this. If it is just an image or you actually have something over there, but to have some of the windows with lights turn on to give more life to it. And you could also use this trick to have the rim light on the character, so you would light up those windows, for example, and they would shine on him. You could also go for a moon, but I'm not sure how that would work. Oh, either way, having a big moon over here would be very nice, especially with him playing a song and whatnot. So to review or recap, really like the leathers. You've done a good job on the materials. Although the emissive could be a little more complex, like adding a for now to have yellow on the outside and white on the inside. You should try adding some lights on the windows of your buildings to add more life to it. Perhaps a moon would improve the atmosphere you're trying to convey, and try to figure out a way to make your character more apparent. It's kind of hard to see him, and I still am not sure what he's doing there. Although I still think it is a trumpet. Yeah, hard to judge. So yeah, thank you HP for your submission. Next one, it's from Weekend. I'm getting close to finishing this, so I want as many feedbacks as I can get. Thanks, rendered on Eevee. Okay, it's been more than a month, so I think you've finished it already, but I'm gonna give as much feedback as I can. Okay, let's get started. I have not reviewed the images before. It's Christmas and whatnot, so I didn't have the time. So I'm looking at them for the first time with you guys. Brush, alright. So the eyebrows, they are a little too dispersed. You have some follicles. They are too far apart from the main unit, like this this one right there shouldn't be there. Now to solve this, you could use two separate particle systems, but I think the easiest one would be to get a mesh of the exact area you're working with and adding the particle system to that. And just try to keep it small and close together. The skin is really good, especially with the details over here. I imagine you got this from somewhere, because it's way too much work to do this kind of stuff. I mean, that kind of detail, it's fine, it's just a bunch of noise mixed together, but under the eyelids, that's a lot of work. Even some scars over here. The mouth looks great. It's a little faded over here, but I don't know what's the correct way to make it. You should probably have a harder edge. So try just making it a little less blurry. This looks more like a hole on the skin than the moles people usually have, like the black moles. Maybe you were going for a hole or dot. But yeah, I think you should probably do this little out of the skin or on the same level, not inside. It's a little weird. I haven't met many people that have this kind of feature, so the nose is a lot cleaner than the rest of the skin. You might want, if you are really going strong on the realism, you could try adding some nose hair. This looks like a woman, so you should probably go easy on the hair, the nose hair. But yeah, for the eyelashes, the ones over here are way longer than the rest, but you got it way too short over here for some reason. Try doing short and incrementing the size at a proper pace. Like every new follicle, it increases a little bit. You could do so using a modifier for bendiness, or you could just comb the hair, use the brush for adding, and then just make it small on one side. Yeah. The eyes, they look way too bloodshot. I'm not sure if this person is diseased or something, but this should not be brown or black. It should be very red or pinkish. She's looking a little extreme to the side. I mean, if I look to the side over there. I can look at the camera and see what's up, but I don't think you can see too much red. So try to clean this up a little bit. The iris seems a bit simple, but it works. I would try adding a little more color. Usually you're going for a brown iris, so try adding some yellow on the inside, just a little bit, for more realism. And I always like to add a very dark rim on the outside, makes the eye pop. You're probably using an HDRI for, or maybe this is your lamp somehow. Yeah, good job on the highlight of the eye. Although I do prefer having just a circle. Let me change my color to white. Just having a circle usually works best. Or maybe if you just make that a little brighter without affecting the rest. Then it's a little too dark. Yeah, your ears are weird, so I can't judge those much, but the insides look alright. The chin is fine. I think the neck could use a little more of those veins we have. They're very subtle. You can see one of mine over here. It goes from behind the ear all the way over here. And yeah, we have a lot of muscle and organs stuff inside of the neck, so it's kind of bumpy. But overall, it is a very realistic looking character. You even have lines for the forehead. Very nice. So to recap, try adding some yellow to the iris, makes it pop a little more. Clean up the right eye, the insides there. They should be more pinkish and red. And overall not so dirty. The eyelashes, they are way longer on the on the edge there, and a little shorter inside close to the nose. And your eyelashes, they are a bit too dangly. It's a very straight hair follicle. Like when you lose an eyelash, you can immediately see it because it's just like a claw. It doesn't curve at all. So remove the wonkiness you have here. Increase the brightness of your highlight on the eye. It's good. It just needs to be a little brighter. And try to fix the the arrangement of the eyebrows so they are closer together and you don't have rogue follicles like those. You could also remove those manually if that's an option, so yeah. What else? Very good job on the skin. Try to make a harder edge on the lips. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but you try it out and see if it does. And see if the spot over here looks better if it is black or brown and on the same level as the skin. Alright, so thank you Wiccan for your submission. Next one. I've been going around all day doing chores, so I'm kind of tired. Next one is from Atlantic, and I can see that's the character on your avatar, so a little more affection for it. Very nice background. It's realistic and well done. I really like the tail of the character with the skin, the peach colored dots. I think you could also use this same effect on the skin of the character, especially in areas like this. So you would have some white dots mixing. Mixing it up so it's not a hard edge unless you're going for a very anime look. That's a cool face, the very draconic. I don't really like the eye that much. I think you would be better off with a black eye, like a shark, and then you try going a little brighter, and then you have the highlight or something like that. Because right now he looks a little blind, and there isn't much life on his eyes. I like the anatomy. Seems on point. Although you might want to make some changes, since this seems to be an amphibic creature. So like adding some cuts on his neck or under his chest. Let's go back to red. Oh, you even have some bump on the skin. Very nice. Yeah. It's a very cool character, a nice tail. Although it looks a little bit too big, I would personally cut this part. So just remove it and have it be a little shorter. Too long of a tail could be detrimental to a creature. So yeah, overall it's a really cool character. I don't know what he's holding. It's kind of weird that he has a cane, but that's your choice, I guess. I think a more feral pose, like showing his claws, would show off the character a little better, but it's your choice. So to recap, nice effect on the tail there with dots. Maybe you could reproduce that same effect on the rest of his body, especially when you're trying to mix two colors. Try to rework his eye. It looks lifeless and blind, so add a little black or some kind of highlight, so you can see better where he's looking at. You might want to rethink his anatomy, so he resembles more an amphibic creature. Adding some, I'm not gonna remember the name, but the thing that lets fish breathe. And I think you should make the tail shorter. Other than that, it's all good. So yeah, very cool. Thank you for your submission, Atlantic. Next one is from Dr. Orbit, and I think this was a laser gills. Thank you, Malachi, the gills, and OJ as well. I think this was a submission for the laser competition on the Blender Discord, and if I'm not mistaken, this won the competition. As you can see, it gives a sense of story for the whole scene. You can clearly see that's Darth Vader from Star Wars, and that's definitely his lightsaber. And my mouse froze. There you go. But for some reason he dropped the lightsaber and kept walking away, like he gives up the Sith life or something. Yeah, you can make up any story you want. So cool scene. Let's try to analyze the skills used. Different materials for the metal, the wires, and the plastic, I think. Some kind of power button, and it's turned on. I don't like how this is just a red lamp of sort. It's a circle with a red emissive shader. The lightsaber is obviously turned off, so this should either be black with no light, or there should be a tiny hint of energy coming from inside, because the crystal is inside and a little bit of light should escape it. You just turn it on with the button and a beam shoots out. So I'll definitely make this darker with white in the center and just a glimmer of red, showing that there's an actual crystal inside. I like the footprints. They are barely noticeable. I'm not sure if they make a cohesive path over there. I can see some footprints over there that don't make much sense for the scene, but for the floor it does. The reflections are very nice, but the one for Darth Vader is too blurry. It looks like he's not even there for some reason. So maybe try and redo the reflection over here. I was gonna say you should make him clearer, but I like the way it is right now, blurred. Yeah, not much else to add. Maybe some droids or some dead bodies, I don't know. For the story I have in my head that he's denying the Sith path, like he regrets doing everything he did and he's just going away, then having a clean environment makes more sense. Or maybe he just kills everyone and then he gives up on everything. Then a destroyed scene would make more sense. But that's Doctor's choice, not mine. It would definitely be harder to make a destroyed environment. So to recap, very nice submission, certainly deserves the victory for the competition. The only nitpick I have is for that red light from the lightsaber. I think it should be turned off, so just a glimmer of red from the whatever the name crystal inside is giving off. Okay, thank you, Doctor, for your submission. Next one we have is from Tanny, and you guys can clearly see that this is very high quality work. When I first saw it, I was like, no way that guy made this. Usually we have more moderate level or beginner level artists on the Blender Discord, but then I looked at at his art station and the rest of the stuff he posted on the Work in Progress and Showcase channel, and yeah, that guy made this whole scene and it took a lot of work. Let me see if I can show you guys the art station so you can get a better idea of what it took to make it. Oh yeah, forgot to give him a like. So that's the final scene. This is just the lighting. He rendered it on Unreal Engine. He modeled everything here. Probably used the texture for that repeating pattern, but I do believe he sculpted some of the details. A very good job. A very complicated shader there for some plants. A shader that detects the top and puts another shader. And other stuff. Everything carefully thought and modeled. So yeah, let's try to give him as much feedback as we can. He has some plants here. They are a bit low poly, but they don't catch your eye, so it's alright. This definitely catches your eye. Then it goes like over here. You see this, then you catch a glimpse of the human figure there. And the rest is just the environment. So this is not the same vase as that one, but they look alike, and this one is broken, but this one is intact. If they are made of the same material, I feel like both should be broken. There's no... No, I'm just being nitpicky. You know, he also has some rain effects. Yeah. A lot of rubble, so this is some ancient ruins. This looks like a spike trap. If you press the middle platform, a bunch of spikes come out. Everything is very nicely modeled. Dirt with smaller rocks, very good. The body of this guy is super simple. I feel like it would be way better if he had some kind of pose, like literally anything. He could be like this, just one hand to the side. He could be kneeling, but just standing there feels a little off. Like you just took a base human mesh and then you put some fancy hair on top and boom, a statue. Yeah, it's pretty hard. The environment art is hard, because overall it makes sense. I don't see anything wrong with the environment itself. You could traverse this, it could be arranged like this. There are some overgrown parts. I should probably replicate this to everywhere else water could touch, like over here. Have some plants, some hanging over here, that would be cool. Definitely had a lot of moss around this guy. Like a whole bunch. Some more green over here as well. In video games, we always have light sources in abandoned places. That doesn't make sense in real life, but if you could like make some some fireflies so we could see the rest, but that would catch the viewer's eye. It would be distracting, so not a good idea. This is very hard to criticize. Hold on. This should be made out of clay, right? Or ceramic. Something you can mold as this thing is destroyed. How do you make this shape? You could make a ring, then you cut out the two parts, you glue that on there, then you make another ring, you pass it. Okay, it's possible. And even if it wasn't, you could just say, hey, magic, it's a new universe. Yeah, okay, I kind of give up. It's very good. I would recommend adding some more moss to the rest, especially because it is raining, so water does reach, well, whatever this is. And yeah, it's overall great quality work, so thank you, Tani, for your submission. Next one, it's from Parallel Mayhem, and this was for another competition. This was for the sword competition. Now, first time I saw this, I was like, yeah, okay, just a King Arthur Excalibur sword model. But then I remember a movie I saw on a plane, and it was the kid that wanted to be king, or something like that. It's a bunch of children, and it's the King Arthur story, but with children, like the new generation of the Knights of the Round Table. And there's Merlin, and yeah, that's the sword of the movie with the weird gem in the center. So with that knowledge, the submission is way better, because the sword on the movie is kind of weird looking. It doesn't make much sense for a weapon, but he's trying to replicate that. So the straps of leather over here, I don't think they were like this on the movie. If they were, that's fine, they are accurate. But for real swords, this is weird. You don't have a thick leather thingy to go around. Or maybe you're trying to make it like this is one strip and it goes on top of this one, goes on top of that one. Either way, those parts, they seem too thick. So I'll just make them kind of flat and lay on top of each other. If you really want to go for the leather strips effect, maybe take away some of the color, make it more beige. Looks like you made it green because this is so old, so it get a little mossy. But yeah, definitely add some scratches and just some overall wear that makes the leather beige. That's the original color, or the skin color underneath. The pommel is very simple, but that's the movie's fault. The stone is very nice looking. It seems kind of hard to do as well. Like, did you sculpt this, or you could have made a shape like that, then use some kind of displacement to get some minor deformation, and then another displacement to get micro displacement. But yeah, this looks really good for a rock, so good job on that. The blade is pretty good. You can see the lines of the metal. It's not quite the Damascus, but pretty nice. There's a little cut there from being used too much in battle. And if that's over there, then you should definitely have some damage over here, which you do, so good attention to detail. Because that means he uses this part to strike and to defend. The crystal seems to be a simple diamond, one of the pre-made objects in Blender. That's fine. I like the shader. And yeah, pretty good. I like how it's not just a straight line. It is kind of curved, as it should be. So to recap, I recommend you redo the leather straps so they don't have this weird thick round part. The stone is very well made, the blade is very well made, and at first I didn't know it was from the movie, so if you could say anywhere that it's from that movie, then you should probably get some extra points. So yeah, thank you Mayhem for your submission. Next one is from Espresso Joe, if I'm not mistaken. He changed his sorry. Talking too much, non-stop, not good for the throat. This is Espresso Joe. He changed his name for the Secret Santa event we are having on the Blender Discord. And this is what he says. My entry for horror in this week's competition. I don't want to work on this one further, but a little feedback for future reference would prove useful, I believe. Okay, so I'll try not to recommend stuff you do not say like, hey, try do this, otherwise it doesn't look good. Let's see. You have some weird knots here, like very professional knots on the dog's hands, but that's okay. The shader for the rope is very good. Same for the clothing. You can see some lines escaping. The hair as well. The hair is a bit off. It's too noisy, there's too many particles, I'd say. And they are of too low resolution, so it's just sporadic all around. The smile is very creepy, especially being sewn together. I like the doll's design. I don't like how her hair is like this, like it is standing on its own over here. Maybe you turn on the hair dynamics option for hair particles, and that's just how it turned, and for you it was fine. But I think you should, for next time, do a little combing so you don't have strands standing up like that. So just put them down with gravity, as it should. Going down like this. And you could even make the front a little shorter so it doesn't obstruct the creepy hairstyle you're trying to convey. You have a window here, and that's a lot of creepy potential there. You could, for example, add a tree branch. Those are usually kind of scary on their own, because they could look like demon arms. I don't know, just the shadow over there. You could also have it would require you to dim the light a little bit, make it more nighttime, and then add some rain, or you could make it a night scene and have a lightning struck right at this moment. So the light would be bluish and it would show the doll very brightly. I can see, yeah. This is a texture, and I assume it was done in Substance Painter because it reminds me of the screw, the screw texture they have ready. Wait, this is a texture, it's not model, although the button is. And I wonder how you've made the hair, because that's a very complicated shape. It seems high poly. So to recap, try to respect gravity when making hair. It looks creepy the way it is, but I think you should probably put the hair down where it should be. Very creepy smile. The materials are on point. Very good job over there. And to make better use of the window you have here, try making it nighttime, adding some creepy shadows like a tree. And for the light, you could do a lightning bolt or a fire or some sirens from a police car, so you know some shit went down over here. And you would have blue and red light, or just purple. But yeah, there's a lot of creepy potential with that kind of scene, and you did a good job, Joe. So thank you for your submission. Ah, it really hurts. Really hurt. Next one we have Laser Cat, and this was rendered in 4K. Sure. Let's see. So I assume the main point is the car, because the rest is very low quality, except the obvious texture with just a wooden frame. So the hydrant looks really bad, mostly because you're not using auto smooth, it seems, and it's basically just a metal material and some red paint. Not much detail, no change in roughness and metallic. The bike is not low quality, but it is kinda off-putting for some reason. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's off-putting to me. The worst part is definitely the background, because you can clearly see this is just an image, and for the most part it is just a plane. Like, this is standing straight. It's weird. The bike has no shadows on the wall. Well spot. Yeah. The car has some shadow over here, and the bike, there's just no shadow. The hydrant has no shadow at all. The poster does have shadow, but it's very soft. So try making harder shadows. Our sun is, I don't know how many millions of light years away. And because it's so far away, any shadow it produces it's hard shadows. We only get soft shadows when we have artificial lighting. He also made another scene showing the car. And you can see the wall is the same. This is the same window over here. But now we have a trash can that wasn't there before, although you wouldn't be able to see it, so okay. He could be covering the hydrant. You can see it as well, and the bike. Although the bike, yeah, you can see it. but it feels like it's in a different position because you had those elements establishing the scene and then you remove them from the other angle. Also, he's parked on a bus stop. That's illegal, so let me add a ticket to his front window. That'll be $179. Thank you. And you can also see over here you did some extruding to make better use of the texture, but it didn't work too well for the grades over here. That's very hard to do, especially because it has some kind of transparency. So now, judging the car, that's the main point. Let's see. Very smooth, high poly, looks alright. The tires are very detailed. The plate looks a little off, like the letters are too tiny, but it's an American license plate, I assume. I can read California there, so I'm not familiar with the font size they use. Very good job on the lamps, those are usually hard to do. Good shader for the window. Yeah, the car is very, very well modeled. I wish I could see the insides, because you definitely have I imagine you cut some corners on the inside. This right here is already crazy to have the scratching on the brake disc. Do they have them on the front and the back wheel? I assume they do. And yeah, very cool car. The rest could use a lot of work. Because you introduced your car, which is amazing, on the scene, that's kind of bad. You took away a lot of the wow, this is great factor, if you know what I mean. It'll be way easier, and it would show off the car way better if you had a very simple scene. One of the best car scenes I've seen, it was on the Blender conference. You're just a reflective floor, black reflective floor, and there was a television on the back, a giant television with some kind of video with a bunch of colors going around. And then the car just drove to the front and stopped in front of the television. Very simple, very easy to do. No need to go for a city environment. You would be wasting your time trying to make it look good, and it's not gonna work too well. So the main recommendation is making simple scenes to show off cars. That's why when you go to any car show, they have the main car, or the most important cars, on a rotating platforms with a bunch of carefully put lights around it. So yeah, thank you LaserCat for your submission. Next one is from DJ Stoiner. He made a video that I'm gonna play to you guys right now. Let me stop the music. Turn up the audio. Let's go there. I'm gonna hide my camera for this. Hold on. Okay, very short and sweet. Now let's analyze it. So you started off with a glitch effect, very nice, very cool. Then a bunch of televisions with a loading symbol. There's a curse of the gray man. I think that's a reference to something that I don't remember. But yeah, probably a reference to something. There was also another thing over there before the transition. Nequiro, ne something. Some buttons over here. Is this maybe a CPU? I can't quite tell. And some LED wires. There's a D20 over there, or an icosphere. Maybe they are televisions. They look more like microwaves because of the panels over there. But yeah, not the CPU. They are screen panels with controls on each side. I'm not sure of the purpose of the LED tubes, LED tubes. But at the end, you make your avatar out of all the screens. And there is some electric guitar, and I don't know what else floating around. You definitely nailed the... Let me turn on the music now. You definitely nailed the transitions and the overall vibe of the scene. With the sound effects, the angles, like on the side, zoom in, then you are zooming on the overall. It's very cool, very short, well made scene. I don't really like the look of the panels there. I think you could have made more. I think you could have used more screen space and less of those controls. You would even show the character or the image you're trying to make here better. And although the LED tubes don't get in the way, they are a little confusing. But I think they add the art improvement. Yeah, they look good on a scene. It's not just a bunch of panels. It's something someone made at some point, and I can't read that word. Nakuro, probably. But yeah, very good. Not much to critique though. Thank you. So, the image you sent is this one, very low poly. It's a cube with 3 lights. I don't know why there's a cube wireframe over there. Doesn't make any sense to me. I find it very hard to read the sign. I can read radio. Radio waves. God, it's hard to read, but if you really look at it, you can see it's radio waves Gaussian. So if you don't want, you put it right in the corner where the chromatic aberration is strongest. So maybe bring it closer or zoom the camera out a little bit just so we can read that sign properly. I like the smoke effect, but you could improve it by quite a lot, make it more detailed. Good lighting over here. nice background with the pink and orange mixing. I probably want to use auto smooth here, although it is a low poly scene. This is a curved surface, so you should not be able to see the edges there. I don't know the purpose of the default cube there, but it's an intriguing scene. So thank you, DJ Stoiner, for your submission. Next we have Captain J with an intriguing stairway. It looks like it goes both up and down for some reason. I don't think that's how they build stairs. I mean, when you build a stair, it's like this, and then you need to have a base like that, or on the very least it'd be straight, because if it's just, if you do it like this, if you do it like this, you're not gonna have enough support for the stairs. So make it more solid on the underside. There's a skeleton dead over here. It's a weird angle, being laid, just laying there and having a hand over here. I think it would be better off just having the skull and maybe a couple bones, a hand maybe, and not the whole skeleton with the hand. I think that if you just remove the hand, it would be okay. Oh, a lot of noise over there. Yeah, try working with the denoiser. We now, in Blender 2.81, we have now the denoising on the composition. It's way faster, and so far for me it's been better than the cycles denoiser. So try to figure out a way to better control the denoise. This crystal is different, or this stalactite is different than this one, and I don't know why. They should most likely have the same appearance. There seems to be a corridor over there for some reason. It's on all floors. Okay. I don't know why you made those rims full of rocks. It's strange. I don't see much purpose to the scene. I just wish you would have given me some kind of description. So with what I have, the best advice I can give you is to make the rocks look the same, and to remove the hand of the skeleton head over there. Other than that, I need more context. I need more elements on the scene to know what's going on and why this exists. So yeah, thank you Captain J for your submission. Now normally I would continue the roast until we went through like 12 or 15 submissions, but it's Christmas Eve. I'm very tired. My voice is getting roasty. It's bad, and I hope you guys forgive me for stopping right now. I wish you all Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, an amazing New Year, and yeah.